Call your sponsor.
Call you sponsor.
Call you
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call.
Yeah, because it's a reflex.
Yeah.
It's a reflex
Yeah.
to jump on the intoxicating train.
Yeah.
It's not a reflex to pause,
No.
but we're trying.
I wish there was an actual, I think that we should link again to that letting go thing, but like,
Yes.
I wish there was an actual, because the letting go thing actually gives instructions on what to do, which is basically just sit there and observe the thoughts, don't get on the train, so all the stuff we're saying. The actual practice of it is like, can be really challenging.
Well, this is where we need the ticker tape. This is where, when you sent me that video, it came at the perfect time. Like, I need somebody to send me a video every time I want to go jump on the train so that I remember, oh, wait, there's another option here. Like, I can actually, instead of going over and around and under and all this stuff, I can actually sit through the feeling. I can jump on the train that is the feeling. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is to find the train that has the feeling and psych myself out to go in on that train, because part of me is like, it's not fun on that train.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's why we have to recalibrate what fun is. And that's what your girl, what's her name? The
Lemke.
That's what she talks about. She talks about recalibrating what's normal for us people in recovery, and that we actually need to practice being bored, because we're so used to the high highs and the low lows that chaos feels familiar. And that's what I was talking about to you as well, that I've realized that the chaos, like my work environment, where for 18 months my shoulders are up to my ears in high anxiety, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so when the other shoe does drop, I feel like I'm in a warm bath. I'm like, okay, I know how to handle this. Now that everything's gone to shit, now this is where I shine. And it's like, I got to recalibrate that. I want to shine in the normal.
Oh, this is where there's discomfort. And I can hear your voice saying that get comfortable with discomfort.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, yeah. It's like, that's the contrary action. Like, I'm getting a reward, however insane it is, right? Using drugs and alcohol for as long as I did. However, unsuccessfully for so many years. I was just, further going down the drain. And it was only when I'd stopped that then I was able to then grow, right? I think that I used to hear in the rooms, like, from the time I pick up, that's when I stop growing emotionally, So when I came in at whatever age, I was still that 12-year-old person that picked up, having all these, emotions and not being able to really deal with them.
Right. And that's why people go back out, because I can picture people in recovery just being little children walking around in these big ass clothes, right?
Yep.
And they're throwing fits and they're throwing temper tantrums and they can't deal. And then when they go back out, it's like they're staying at that stunted growth. And then you come back in and you're like, I still can't figure out. And you come back because it's staying at that stunted growth and trying to go over and under and around instead of through what is being asked of us, which is a tall order to actually be in a way that we weren't raised to be. A lot of people in recovery were at a fork in the road, and they didn't get the opportunity to feel safe being their true selves as a certain point in their childhood. And if you're not able to be your true self and you have to put on a mask, that's not the normal way to live. So we're going to have to drink or drug to get through life.
And I guess what's been my experience thus far is that there is infinite possibilities for healing in program. You know, and I think about there's one sponsor that was, you know, older and you know, a lot of the people that gravitated to them had daddy issues, go figure, right? I mean, like, of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, we got to please dad, you know, or did you return dad's call? You know what I mean? But it was like all that stuff got worked out in a healthier environment, you know, which were the rooms.
Yeah, I heard this girl say yesterday, she does quotes like on Etsy, and people send them to her. They're quotes that they want on pillows or whatever. And she got this one quote that said, being a daddy's girl is like having armor to go out in the world. And I wanted to start fucking bawling because I'm just like, I didn't have a daddy. I didn't have armor to go out in the world. I was a puddle that went out there and was like, can y'all define me? Would y'all, you know, like there was no armor.
Yeah, I feel that. And I was just thinking that I want to make a note to do a show on energies, masculine and feminine energies.
That's a great idea.
Because I was watching something, I think maybe yesterday. I was talking to a friend, they were driving, and I was like, "Oh, I'll send you a podcast. What do you want to watch?" You know, and then I was like, "Oh, I was like, all of a sudden, I was playing doctor with podcasts. I was like, "Oh my god, I'll prescribe you this one. Like, tell me how you think." You know what I mean?
Oh my god, that's so good. I love that.
Yeah. What you need, what you feeling, you know?
Like you have a file of like when people are angry, send this one. When people are hurt, send this one. I love it.
Yeah. So they were like, yeah, I'm thinking about going back to this, you know, person, you know, that's not necessarily, you know, it's like an ex that's just like, you know, going around for another round. It's like, there's nothing there, you know? And I came across this thing, which I sent to them, which I had not listened to, but I was like, let me know if it's worth a listen, because you're in a long road trip. Let me know if it's worth a listen. I ended up listening to it, and it is. I found it worthwhile. I don't even know if they ended up listening, but I don't even care because I listened to it, and it was about finding out what my core energy is. Is it masculine or feminine? It doesn't matter what sex organ you have or how you identify.
Right.
We all have both, and it's about balancing it.
Equanimity.
Yep. And how to heal if I'm lacking the masculine energy, or how to heal if I'm lacking the you know what I mean? And the ways to do that, you know, and it's one of the people that I came across as I was going down this vortex has his whole method of doing it. He lost his sister to addiction, his favorite sister. I think there were only actually two of them, you know, and had lost his favorite sister to addiction. And that had helped him further along his healing journey with regards to the lens of these energies, you know. How that applies to the steps for me is that, you know, I feel like the steps are the first layer, and then I become open to all these other modalities, you know? And it's the opening that I then am able to like listen to other people and try it on for size. You know, I think at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to have an experience, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is that's the walkway, right? Like that's the sidewalk the electronic walkway at the airport that Michael Singer talks about, where instead of constructing these ideas of how it's supposed to go and it coming to me and crumbling, because it never looks like what I've constructed in my mind, that I would just stay on that walkway and allow life to come to me as it shows up and be there and have my feet on the ground and be present. Fuck that.
I didn't come here to deal with reality.
Right. No. I just wanted to find other ways to not deal with it besides drinking, which I did.
Oh my God. Oh
Shopping.
my God.
Recovery is going and shopping and spending lots of money. There you go. You're welcome, everyone.
Hmm.
I'm doing my part.
I was talking with someone about that this week. Is that I'm still looking for the dopamine drip,
Yeah.
and it doesn't come from sitting still.
Mm. Yes.
This is a program
Meditation.
action. I'm gonna take an action. I will go directly to the beauty store. I will go directly to whatever, fill in the blank. It's like, who can I fuck with today?
Oh my
What back burner boy do I have that I'm just gonna text?
Exactly. Oh my God.
You know?
Speaking of a book of contradictions, it's like meditation, sit still, breathe, feel the sunlight of spirit. Also, you should always take action. It's like, okay, I'm going with action. Does that
Yeah, yeah.
include Adderall at all? Hello? Anyone? Like shopping, spending money, debt, any of that. High highs and low
Yeah.
lows. And yeah, no, it asks for us to have that 50% equanimity of God and others and myself and masculine and feminine and be there and allow it to show up and be present. Boring.
So we're at our final 5. I love that you whipped this up into, you had something else, and it's just like it's like you are the embodiment of literally the steps in action. You are just in flow. You
I'm in
just like
flow.
you realize you didn't try to hide it and pretend like, oh, we're just gonna do shame anyway, just like the lemons. We'll
Yeah.
see if anyone notices. You were just like, oh, okay, we could just shift. We could just pivot, and you
Pivot.
just pivoted. We just pivoted. And we're like, we did touch on shame. We did touch on resilience. We touched on, for me, the practical application is always the fun thing, because what does honesty look like at work? What does honesty look like, with a significant other, with friends, like that's like, what? In all my affairs? Not today.
That's a really good
So,
point because it's like I was always dishonest, right? Like my mom stole sunglasses in the drugstore and I'd be like, we're not supposed to do that. And she was like, shh. And I'm like, okay. And then she'd talk to her friends on the phone and tell all these different lies about what we had just experienced. Like she exaggerated it. And I was like, wait, that's not what happened. But she was my God, right? She was my mentor. So I learned to lie. And that's how I was getting through life, is lying about everything. And then I come in the rooms and it took a really long time. But the first time I tried honesty and just telling the truth, it's like, oh my God, this is so much easier. This is so much easier. And now it does feel really good to be transparent. And not only does it have the added benefit of keeping my side of the street clean, but it just is like so much easier to keep track of.
Yeah, what did they say? They was just here. If I'm honest the whole time, I don't need to remember what I did or didn't do or something. It was like some kind of like weird. Yeah.
I've never heard that, but it applies.
It applies. Question.
Yes.
Okay, you said 3. 3 is letting go, God or victim. What is something that you've had difficulty or are having difficulty, either or, past or now, letting go of?
Letting go of being right.
Oof.
Listen, there is my mom put a sign on my door that said, I'm too smart to study and too cute to care. And I took that literally. I took that as my motto through life. It doesn't apply when you're 53. That doesn't work as much anymore. But, this addiction to being right, I keep tabs and track of everything so that if somebody thinks I wasn't right, I can show. Like, nope, I was right. And and it comes from being wrong so much and having such consequences from being wrong.
Well, in this current moment, it's letting go of exactly where I am. Like, so, like, initially, I think I might have shared this in a prior thing. It's like my runway is coming to an end, regarding, finances and all of this stuff. It's like, shit or get off the pot, and I'm doubling down on my actions and outreach and, taking interviews, and all of these things. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's like too much to try to stay exactly where I am, like living wise and all of this stuff. I just don't know how realistic it is. And I'm finding myself clutching at every last thing where I'm just like, no, I can't, I'm not gonna budge. I'm not budging, you know? Not yet, not today, not right now. Um, so I've been just noticing that clinginess, and I'm just noticing I'm not doing anything. I think in the past I would be like, no, get your hands off of it. You need to let go, and like really pressure myself. And I think the progress for me is to just be gentle and have a loving kindness. I'm like, of course it's difficult to let go. And no one says that you need to let go right now, but it's the thought of it. And I get that. And, just kind of like what you shared in the past, like, talking to your child and like, okay, I totally get that, makes sense. We've just done it again. Call your sponsor.
Call you
Call
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor.
Send us an email with comments, questions, or concerns bcysponsor@gmail.com.
Don't forget to rate 5 stars.